If someone dumped you, if someone rejects you, don't take it personal. It's not about you, but sometimes it's about them. I believe poverty, it's all about mindset. You know, because when you talk about poverty, people, they think about money. But no, it's not just about money. You might not have money like people in the village, but they live good life.
What's the legacy do you want to leave?
Oh, man.
For what you're doing right now.
Oh, man.
Okay, for the intro of this session, I just want you to tell about yourself, and to tell about yourself and the journey of yourself right now, up to now.
The journey of myself.
Yeah.
About myself, well, I love defining myself in a very in 4 different words.
Yeah.
Predicate. Yes. If you want to know who is Mika, then you just need to think about predicate. Predicate, it means preparations, details, time, and difficult decisions. That is me. These are philosophy that I live, every single day. I believe in preparation, that I must always be prepared. Not only have plan A, but I should have B, C, D, E, F, G, and so forth and so on. You know, even people, they say practice make perfect, right? So you should be prepared in every single circumstance. That if I pick you today and be like, hey, Paul, you got to do this, you should be ready to go ahead and do it. Right? That is preparation. But also details. I always say that you become a professional when you start focusing on small details. People that, things that the rest of people, they don't pay attention to. It's kind of like that society we live in, especially here in Africa. People, they care about doing things, but not doing it excellently or effectively. So yeah, details. And time is life. If you waste your time, you waste your life. So stop wasting my life. If you're wasting my time, you're wasting my life. A difficult decision, just believing in most of time, the ways to success. It really depends on the decisions you make. And most of them are not really easy decisions. Why I call them difficult? Because it could be a matter of choosing, for instance, to leave some of your friends, people that you grew up from, right? Or to leave from your normal environment, the places that you grew up from. You were born there. You're connected emotionally, physically, spiritually, you know, even mentally, and you need to walk away from that. It's not going to be easy, but you need to make that difficult decision to do. So these 4, I mean, in just summary, I think they explain who I really am, but also just a guy who loves Christ. I love a family, and I deeply love Africa. That's me.
That's you. Definitely. And we know what you're doing.
Yes.
You're working for Africa. That's what you always say, that you work for Africa.
Yes.
So I just want to know, the audience, they might want to know what influenced you to pursue this career into this field. Well,
first of all, Paul, I got to tell you that this is such a brilliant idea you came up with. You did not tell me this beforehand, and you did not tell me anything about this. You just told me today. It's good. But what really influenced me to be here, I think I've said this a lot of time. For those people who do not know, when I went to Korea, I think I saw how Africa is being perceived, and I also saw how Koreans see me as an African. They did not see me as a Tanzanian, but they call me African. If you do something good, they will generalize all Africans. If you do something bad, they'll generalize all Africans as well. That's when I woke up. I was like, oh man, if they see me as an African, why should I not see myself as African? Because before I was seeing myself, of course, as an African, but more as a Tanzanian. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where everything was triggered, and I started to expand my boundaries. My best friend is from Nigeria, western side of Africa. I plugged in different communities. And the more I plugged in those communities, the more I found out about a lot of struggles that Africans are going through. And I found myself in a position to help, because I've always wanted to help people. That has always been my goal. right? And not helping people because they need help, not from that perspective, but from perspective that, you know, I think I can contribute something in this community and make things better because I got eyes, I see, I got a purpose. And yeah, I think that's what really motivated me when I went to South Korea.
That's great. So I just want to know another thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are watching you, even me. So maybe you can share with us what are the guiding principles or values that have been shaping your life and your career at all.
Wow. I think the first thing I mentioned earlier, my first principle is God before everything, God in everything, God after everything. You know, I'm such a I know how to call this. Okay, I'm not saying this out of pride, but godly man. What I mean is God in everything, right? I even get criticism that I think I talk a lot about God than other stuff. I think that is the basic foundation because I did not bring myself here. You know, God created me. He brought me here. And, you know, he saved me and I have a relationship with Christ. And I'm not afraid to say that I'm a born again Christian. I don't believe in religion, honestly, even though I'm in one of them, but I highly believe in God and the personal relationship that I have, you know, with God. I think that is the first thing. He brought me through all these, you know, journey, and I am here where I am today. It's because of him. So all the glory, honor, and praise belong to him. The second thing I think guiding principle is family. Yeah, family. I love my family. You know that. And family always comes first because I believe that it's impossible to love others if you don't love your family. If you don't love yourself, loving family is loving yourself because those people are your blood. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like close family, extended family, but I have to value them before anything else. Right. And I think that will be my second principle. The third one I would say, I would say, okay, I'll mention maybe 5. I would say, you know, discipline. Discipline, it means really knowing what to do, when to do. You might not necessarily know how to do it, but you figure out along the way, right? And so you've seen, like, for example, you've seen me working out every single day. That is actually me disciplining myself, trying to keep my body in shape so that I'll be able to, you know, to face all these things that I'm supposed to face, you know, you know, you've seen me, of course, you know, going to church or praying, or you've seen me, like, you know, working on different activities and all the stuff. I think all of this, you know, it says everything about discipline in everything, like discipline in time, keeping time, you know, in general, just discipline. And I think another thing I would say, accountability. Yes. Always looking at myself, like, what should I have done better? If something wrong has happened, you know, not going right away to point fingers, but also thinking about it. Well, I think I should have done better something. And I think that really helped me to improve because I kept realizing that, okay, I was not doing this right. I was not doing that right. Evaluating myself. That's cool. You know, being accountable. I think that is the fourth. Is it the fourth one? God, family, discipline, accountability. The last one, 51.
You have a lot, bro.
Yeah, the last one, 51, I'll say for today, I'll say, you know, learning. Learning, it means not being satisfied with where I am right now, but pursuing more knowledge because knowledge is power. And not being satisfied with where I am. And the moment you stop learning, you stop growing, right? Sure. So if you want to grow, you must learn. And I think that comes, you know, the package of me, like traveling in different countries, exposing myself to different countries in Africa, trying to talk about them, trying to have conversation with people from those countries. Basically, I'm doing that, not necessarily for others, but for me as well, to get knowledge about these countries as well. Yeah. So those would be 5 top principles that really helped me to be where I am.
That's great. So how do you think the idea of pervert and being pervert? What do you think about that?
The idea of pervert. All right.
And being pervert.
Yeah. I don't really believe that there's a, okay, pervert. You say pervert.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can mix that with poor. You know?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing? Oh, your question is just about poverty. Okay.
Poverty. Yeah.
Okay. The idea about poverty, I think poverty, it begins with mindset.
Mindset.
Yeah. That's why I don't believe that there's a poor people, but I believe there are people who they think poorly.
Poorly.
So poverty is the result of mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, some people, they'll be like, okay, you have opportunities, you have access to this and that. They'll say all those kind of stuff, but it does not really matter. You might have all those opportunities and all those channels, but if you think poorly, then your situation is going to be poor, because poverty is the situation. You know what I'm saying? Poverty is the situation. So it begins with mindset. So for instance, in Africa is not poor. And Africans, we are not supposed to be living in poverty. But because we have poor mentality, and when I say poor mentality, I mean looking at the Westerners as, you know, our saviors, looking at them as people who can support us in everything that we do. There's nothing that we can do by ourselves except we need to ask for them. That is poor mentality.
Oh, yeah.
That's what leads to poverty. Oh, yeah. But in fact, that's why I say I keep on learning, because the more you learn, the more you understand that, oh, my God, why am I living this kind of life? Why am I living poorly? I can actually do this and I can achieve that. I can do that. And you realize that you are escaping from that, situation of poverty. So my pastor said something very interesting. He said, you know, from the age of 1 to 30, oh, yeah, you might have been born from the poor family. Oh, yeah. But from 30 going forward, you are a poor person. I mean, it's no longer about your family, but it's about you.
Yourself.
Yeah, it's your responsibility. You need to be accountable. And it is true. So I think the idea of poverty, for me, I believe poverty, it's all about mindset. You know, because when you talk about poverty, people, they think about money. But no, it's not just about money. You might not have money like people in the village, but they live good life. You know, they have cows, they have food, they eat, they sleep in just traditional beds. That's not poverty. That's the culture. That's how our culture is, right? And so most of us, we think that is living poorly, but not. That is the culture. Sleeping on the floor is the culture. Koreans, they sleep in the floor and they have all kind of money. And you've seen me sleeping on the floor as well. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So sure. That is poverty. It's all about mindset. If you don't, break out from this poor mentality and poverty mentality, which basically was brought by colonizers to us, then you are not going to live successful life. You might have a lot of money, but still living poorly. Or you're still in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, because it's not just about money, but it's about your mental.
Your mental.
Exactly. What you think about things. How do you do it? Are you accountable? Are you disciplined enough? Can you manage things? For example, the thing that, troubles Africa, Magufuli said, is because of mismanagement and misuse of resources. So that is poverty.
Oh, yeah.
But we have resources, we have everything, but because we mismanage and misuse them, then we live poorly. That's all about
so
poverty.
On top of that, what does success mean to you?
Success.
Yeah, when someone say, I'm successful, what does it mean to you? Like, to the point and say that now I'm successful.
Well, I think for me, being success, for me, it is about living my purpose.
Your purpose.
Yeah. So when you talk about success and poverty, a lot of people just think about money, how much money you have in your account. But if you don't live your purpose, if you don't know your why are you here, then you're not successful. Okay. Because I always talk about these 5 questions that I learned from Myles Munroe, RIP, that who are you? Your identity. Where are you from? Your source. Why are you here? Your purpose. What can you do? Your potential. Where are you going? Your destination.
Oh, yeah.
So if you do not know your why, I believe you're not successful yet, because you're not living your purpose. So for me, success is knowing my why. What can I do? Why? Like, why am I here?
That's great.
That is my success. Because once you know that, then you're no longer poor. You're going to live your life. You're going to do what you're called to do. And that is success. Like, if I die today, God forbid, I'm not praying for that. I'm going to live for a very long time. But if that happens today, if God allows that to happen today, then I will not have a regret.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because I'm living my why. I know my why and I'm living it. That is success.
That's great. So I know from the work that you are doing,
yes,
there is a lot of challenges.
Yes.
Maybe you can share with us those obstacles and challenges that you're facing from the career that you are pursuing right now.
Yeah, I think.
And actually, how do you approach them, your failure and setbacks?
Yeah, that's really good. You said failure and setbacks, because failure is not an option to me.
Yeah.
And I don't consider it as a failure because I only see them as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think the biggest challenge that I face right now is me seeing this vision come to pass.
Right.
Yeah. Like actualizing it. Because most of things that I talk about, they kind of seem like ideas.
Oh, yeah.
That, you're not realistic, man. You just talk about a lot of good ideas. People, they love hearing about them, but nothing will happen and all those stuff. So I think the biggest challenge to me is seeing when this is going to happen. I am patient. That's why I work my butt off day and night, because I want to see one Africa in my generation. And I think that is the main challenge, that, okay, what can I do so that this thing can happen? It's long overdue. We've waited for so long time. What can I do right now to change the mindset of my people, of young generation? Because my heart is towards them. And I told you, it's all about mindset. And I see that in young people. I see that when I walk around the street and I see young ladies, try to change their hair, trying to put the wigs on. I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing to do that, but what are the intentions behind that? Are you putting it because you do not like your hair? I see, celebrities right now here in Tanzania, in so many countries in Africa, going to Turkey to change the shape of their body. Why? Because you don't like your body. Some people, they go far, they try to change the color of their skin. Why? You don't like your skin. This is the poor mentality, poor mindset. So how can I change them? And I'm looking at my life. I look at the timeline and I'm like, when am I going to be able to reach out to all these youth?
Yeah.
And at least tell them, talk about this, change the mindset of our people.
Yeah.
When am I going to be able to influence even the leadership in Africa? The leaders can listen and actually do what we say, because we see, we experience, so I think that is one of the challenge, because I'm a very goal-oriented person. And when it's not happening, then I'm becoming very, I'm like, this should be happening. This should be happening. I need to do something. Yeah. So I think that's it'll be one of the setbacks I face.
All right. So earlier you mentioned about the purpose.
Yes.
To discover
your why.
Your why.
Yes.
And you're working for the youth. And
yes.
I think that's one of the challenges that's facing a lot of the youth.
Yeah.
To discover their purpose. So for you, how do you define purpose? And how can you how can someone discover to know that this is my purpose in their life?
That's a good question, man. You prepared a lot for this. Give me some, man. Come on, look at you. All right. Wow. So figuring your why, first and foremost, you need to start answering the two questions that are above it.
Oh, yeah.
You need to answer the question, who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? That is a very important question to answer. After that, you need to answer, where are you from? To know your identity, to know your source, to know where you come from, to know all those stuff. If you know these two questions, then you'll be able to answer, why are you here?
Yeah.
If you know who you are, like if you ask me, who are you, Mika? I'm not going to answer it here. And also if you ask me, where are you from? I can answer, depends on which angle you are asking it. If you really ask me like who I am, I'll tell you I'm a child of God. I am the image of God. Genesis 1:26. Therefore God said, let us make man in our own image, in our own likeness. So that these men that we are making in our own image, why these men should be in their own image, in God's image and God's likeness? Because God, he had a specific task for a man to dominate the earth, not people, the earth, the resources, birds in the skies, fish in the seas, and everything that goes around the ground, that are Those are resources. So God, he's the king of kings. We are little kings. He put his own image in us so that we may dominate resources and this earth that he created specifically for us. So if I know I am God's image, there's no way I'm going to live poor life, because I know that my purpose is to dominate, not people, again, not people, but their resources, what God has given to us, right? And, you know, where are you from? I'm not from here. Because the day you die, your body will bury your body here, but your spirit will never die. It's going somewhere. So it depends on how you live. That spirit will go above or somewhere else, but it's going somewhere, right? So, and what gives a person a life is that spirit, that it comes straight from God himself. So if you answer these two questions, and then you'll realize, why am I here? Because if you know these questions, then you ask yourself, okay, then there must be something that I should do here on earth. I'm here for a specific purpose for me to accomplish it. For me, I know that purpose is to bring my people together. I know for sure. Why? I know. How do I know that? Simply because I can sit here 24 hours or the whole week doing the same thing without getting tired.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy doing it. And not because I get money out of it. And you know this in detail more than anybody else. You might get nothing and still do it with all of your heart. You're not getting tired. You don't feel like you're working at all. You might come remind me, Mika, we need to eat right now. I'm still just working. You realize what happened the other day because of that passion. Something that you love so much, and you can let go of everything else to do that. You can let even go of your own relationship. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you a story of Usain Bolt, the fastest man on earth. When he was preparing for Olympic runs, he broke up with his girlfriend. And he told her that, I don't want any distraction for what I'm about to achieve. Therefore, I know if I'm keep dating on you, you'll be calling me, you're going to want my attention, and I'm not going to be able to train, to prepare myself, preparation for that competition. So he broke up. That is to say, what he was about to do, it is more important than even his own relationship with his girlfriend. That's how you know this is my passion. That's how you know this is my purpose. That you're willing to let go of anything that comes along the way to go ahead and to do it. It doesn't matter how it looks like. It doesn't matter whether people understand you or not. You are willing even to sacrifice yourself. Oh, yeah. People that say, why are you doing this? This is dangerous. You cannot do this. You cannot say that. And you're like, why can I not say this? Because you're going to die. I'm going to die. I'm not scared of death. That is your passion. You're born to do that. And so I answered in a very spiritual way, I know. Oh, yeah. But that's how it is, because this world we're living is being influenced by the Spirit. So there's no other way. I cannot give another question. Who am I and where am I from? Then if I just want to answer in a normal way, I would say, hey, you know what? I'm just a little guy. I was born in African family somewhere there in the village here, in Africa. And yeah, where am I from? I'm coming from this family. I'm coming from this tribe. I'm coming from that. I could say that. You know what I'm saying? Why are you here? I can answer in that ordinary way, but I think if you go back to the basics of really finding who you are, where you're from, then you'll be able to find your why. And I just say here, like your purpose, how will you find it? And how will you know it? I just answered it.
So is there any single moment maybe you've experienced it that makes you to feel that's right now, I'm living my purpose? Any single moment for what you're doing right now that makes you to feel like I'm living my purpose?
Actually, I feel that every day.
Every day?
Every day when I wake up, I feel that. Even when I go to bed, I feel that.
Yeah.
Because, I'm on the path, right? So it doesn't matter where I am right now, but I'm on a path. That's why, this. That's why for me, it does not bother how many people are following us. Oh, yeah. It does not bother how many people they watch when we go live on the stream. Because it does not matter anything, how much money we create. It does not matter to me, because it's not about them. Those are secondary thing, but primary thing is me doing what I was called to do. Yeah. And waking up every single morning. That's why you don't see me working. Being employed. I've got a lot of offers, actually. Just a month ago, I got an offer going somewhere to be basically a boss in that company, and it's a mining company, but I turned it down. I turn it down because I was not called to do that right now. What I'm doing right now is more satisfying, more fulfilling.
Yeah.
I've been called to do these part-time jobs a lot of time. Like, hey, we'll pay you this amount of money, but I'm not really influenced to go ahead and to do it because I was not called for that. And I'm willing to do any work that is my purpose, regardless of whether I get something or I don't get it. So I feel that every single day, my brother.
So, okay. You know, when someone is pursuing his or her purpose,
yeah,
they have their goals.
Yes.
And they want to achieve.
Yeah.
So what is your goal in your purpose?
In my purpose? Well, my goal is very simple. Is to get one Africa in our generation. I think that is the big goal.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is my passion. That's what I'm working for, like to unite my people. So my goal is to see that happening, right? Is to see that happening in the top level. Because right now we see it happening in a single stage as we go forward. But also I think I can break it down in small things so that it could help whoever who is listening or watching this. Also, you know, my goal is to really transform the minds of younger generation to return the essence of who we really are. That's why you know that I'm writing my book.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm doing that, because I'm in the mission of accomplishing that. So I know there are people who will listen to me when I talk. I'll reach out to them and perhaps will transform their mind. But I know there are people who will not listen, but they will read the book and they'll be able to see that. I know that people will not listen, will not read the book, but they want to see me physically. And that's why our goal is to go to all 54 countries to meet people, to talk to them. I know some people, they might not meet us physically. They might listen to us. They might not, read the book, but then through business or through partnerships, they'll be able to merge in that. So right. Our goal is to reach out to every single individual, transform our minds, because unity in Africa, it is possible only if our minds will be transformed. Because some people right now, they believe that we don't need this. Some people, they believe it's better to have a white man leading us again. Some people, they believe that, you know what, Africa is not the best place for living. I need to go somewhere else to find a better life. And I say that no, better life can be created anywhere.
Yeah.
I say that better life cannot be found in the Western countries. No, it can be created anywhere. So if we get to that mindset, and that is my goal, and you can realize that that is bigger than myself. Achieving that of all these youth in Africa, 1.4 billion people, and more than 60% are youth, reaching out to them and transforming their mind. How are you going to do that? Well, that is the vision. How? I will figure out how as time goes by. I'm already doing my how right now through social media, through gatherings, through meetings, through forums. But you never know. God, sometimes he just make a way and create a space for you to practice your vision. As long as you have a vision, then God will create a way for you to practice it and for a lot of people to be reached out.
That's brilliant.
Thank you, brother. Just living my purpose.
So looking back to your journey so far.
Yes.
What are the things that you're really proud of?
Man, you have a really good question. I forgot sometimes you're a journalist. Guys, he's certified journalist with a degree on. Come on, man. Hit me up. You should do this often. Now I'm going to be doing this often. You just need to ask me a question. That's it. Okay, what things I'm proud of?
Yeah.
I think I am proud of the day that I was born.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was not conscious, but I was conscious.
Yeah.
Because I'm a spirit being, you know what I'm saying? And the day I was born, there were more than 5 million other little Mikas that were trying to come out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into details, but you know the process of germination and everything. I mean, not really germination, like germination is for plants. But what is this? What is the word? I know in Swahili, but I don't know in English. I mean, I forgot in English. Okay, let me just say the process of production.
Oh, yeah.
These little guys, a lot of them, they're running towards the egg. You understand?
Yeah.
A lot of them, I believe it's more than 5 million, 500 million something. They're running towards the egg. And fortunately, I was faster enough than them. So I was born a winner because I won from the very first time when I was I became an embryo, a zygote in my mother's womb. You know what I'm saying? So the day I was born, I'm so proud of that day because it was the day that marked the victory that already happened from my mother's womb, and now it was manifested physically because a lot of people died when they were born, but I'm still alive. So I think I'm so proud of that, and I thank God for that. That would be the first thing. I think the second thing, I'll be very proud of wow.
All right, maybe we talk about that.
No. Yani, what I'm thinking right now, I've never really thought about that question. So I'm getting emotional right now. If you can see my eyes, I'm getting emotional because I'm thinking about it right now as I'm answering that. Wow, I never thought the moments that I was proud of in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about them. And that's why I said, you know, the day I was born, because I believe this was the beginning of everything. I did not know that I would be here today. But when I was born in January 5th, 1993, that was the day that God was like, okay, little guy, now is your time. So I'm looking at my history. I'm looking at the life that I lived till the day I left Tanzania and go to Korea. I think that was also one of my, proudest day in my life. The day I actually commit my life to Christ, that was the most proudest day as well. Because my life was changed. And when I went to Korea, my life also was changed. I was going to another country for the very first time. I don't know nothing about that country. It's the new environment. But for the first 2 months, I wanted to move back home, to come back home. But then I'm proud that I ended up living there for 9 years. I think that was one of the most proudest moments of my life. The day I graduated from the university, studying with all Koreans in Korean, and from one of the very difficult major called economics. And I graduated. I was like the only foreigner in that graduation picture. I'll show you. That was the proudest day of my life as well, that I made it with all these difficulties. You know, the first day I got a job. I went to job in foreign country. That was another day. The first day I got casted in the national television in South Korea.
Oh yeah.
That was the proudest day of my life as well.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think, you know, the timeline is very long. You know, when I started to work for this vision, and, you know, one day I remember I uploaded one video, and I did not have a lot of people who coming and watch.
Oh yeah.
You know, I could do live stream. I'll have only 3 people watching. I woke up the next morning, man, I just saw a lot of notification, comments, and a lot of views. I'm like, what in the world? I think within a single day, I met like more than 10,000 people. They watched the video. I was like, wow, that was the proudest day as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think those are a few of them. Yeah.
So, and how do you measure the impact and success of your work?
Wow. It's very little. I don't remember me being asked question and think about it. So I gotta applaud you, man. This is a good question. How do I measure the success of my work?
Yeah.
You really make me think today. A lot of those questions, man. How do I measure the success of my work?
Yeah.
I think when I receive private emails or DMs of people giving testimony of who they used to be and who they are right now. For example, I remember this one time, one young Ethiopian lady sent me a text and said, hey, I never really loved my country before, but after watching your videos, I began to love my country. And I regret why I was not loving my country to that extent. It moved me to see someone who is not from my country loving my country and talking about my country. So I love my country and I'm going to serve my country. That's how I measure. Because to be honest, you can say like, how many people watch the videos. Not everybody watch and get something.
Oh yeah.
But in the midst of that, you have these people who actually reached out and say, hey, this is what I was thinking. For example, one of the person that we're working with, you know, she told me that, hey, the first time she emailed me, she told me that, hey, I've been crying about this continent for years. And I lost hope. But when I saw your videos, I saw myself with you, because I saw what I've been crying for a long time ago. And that is not just her, but so many people reached out and say the same thing. Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, they're praying for me day and night, because what we do is what they always wanted to be done. So I think that is how I measure the success of my work, by all this testimony that comes from people telling me their stories about who they used to be and who they are today, because of what we are doing. But also, I guess, these invitations that we get often. I think I never really thought people would be listening, and especially even leaders. But when you are invited by the governments of certain countries, and our work, we always bash on the governments as well.
Sure.
But when they invite you, that come for these events, I am surprised. I'm like, okay, then our message is reaching out to them. If the government listen to it, then it's basically done.
That's great.
So I think that's one of the ways. There might be a lot of them, but I gotta think about them. But I think that's one of the ways.
Actually, for what you have said right now, I just saw this email in the morning.
All right.
Someone say that many are called, but few are chosen. You have won the hearts of many right-thinking Africans.
Wow.
Chart a new path of us. It's time. Gado Yakubu Niswa from Ghana.
Oh,
so that's very
I did not even see that email.
I saw it in the morning.
Wow. Why did not tell me? Get out of here, man.
Yeah. So I think this is one of the things.
That's how we measure. Yeah. And that person from Ghana, we don't really receive much support from the Western Africa. But when you get something like that, it means a lot. So I really appreciate you for that. It means a lot.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is your inspiration for the future?
Inspiration for the future. Wow. You have good questions, man. Inspiration for the future. I think just knowing that what I'm doing is not yet done. It's my inspiration. Not yet done, it means not people doing what I do. No, I mean not being accomplished. These visions not being achieved and actualized. That's what inspires me to keep doing, to keep working for the future. But also just knowing that God is already there. That's why I'm not scared of nothing. I'm not scared of tomorrow. I'm not scared of anything. It inspires me that if he's already there, he knows exactly what is going to happen. So my job is to make myself available 24/7 to be like, God, if there's anything you want to do for Africa, I'm here. Use me. That is my prayer.
That's great.
And actually that's a code I got from my pastor as well. That's why it's very important to have someone who can actually help you spiritually, but also even mentor you some other ways, So kudos to Pastor Fred, by the way. So knowing that God is already there, and knowing that what I'm doing is not yet accomplished, and knowing that I am not called to be like everybody else. I'm not living in common sense. I gotta live outside of the box. I'm not in the box from the first place, and I'll not be in the box. My pastor said, we need to live in spiritual sense, not common sense. Because common sense, everybody live. If you live in common sense, you'll be a common person, you'll have common results. And so I'm saying, so knowing that, it gives me, it inspires me to wake up in the morning to be like, okay, dear God, what you want to do today with Africa?
That's great.
I'm ready. I'm here. I'm available. Use me. Let's get it. Get out.
All right. I'm going to have another 2 more questions.
All right.
And that will be the end.
For this first episode.
Yeah, for this first episode.
All right. Let's go.
So this question, actually, you asked it, your dad, Pierre Lumumba.
Okay.
So because you are my team, or you're my Paul, I'm going to even ask you about this.
All right. Okay.
Was the legacy do you want to leave?
Oh, man.
For what you're doing right now.
Oh, man. You got me emotional, man. Because, you know, when you look at the human history,
yes,
we had people in the past, a lot of them are gone, a lot of them are forgotten.
Oh yeah.
And some of them,
oh yeah,
they're not forgotten, but their deeds, what they've done,
yeah,
has been remembered and spoken every single time. So it's hard to forget them.
Oh yeah.
Because their message or their actions were more louder than their names.
Oh yeah.
And therefore, when we look back, we remember what they've done.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, we remember their names as well.
Oh yeah.
So what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? I am really concerned about the next generation.
Oh yeah.
And I'm deeply and honestly just want my kids and my children,
oh yeah,
you know, when God bless me with them, to live in a better Africa than the one we're living today.
Oh yeah.
So I want to be remembered as someone who gave everything he got and did everything he could.
Oh yeah.
Giving his time, giving everything.
Oh yeah.
For the muteless.
For the muteless.
Yeah. I want to be remembered as the voice to the muteless.
The voice to the muteless.
Someone who never scared or afraid to say something or to do something for the sake of the rest of Africans who are not being listened, are not being heard. They have a voice, but they're muted. Yeah. Right? So with the influence that God has given me, with the life that God has given me, an ability to do things and to say things, I want to be remembered as someone who spoke on their behalf. Someone who, like they call the voice to the muteless.
Not to the voiceless.
Not to the voiceless, because everybody has a voice.
Oh yeah.
So I want to be remembered as the voice. You know what I'm saying? The voice that guy spoke, that guy did, that guy lived. Like when they're looking at the history of human being, you know, maybe it'll be like, you know, 3,000 years, you know, to come. They'll be like, in 2020 something, 21st century, we had somebody called Mika Chavala. This guy was the voice. This guy could speak everything in his mind. Not only speak, but he will go ahead and do it.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter in big capacity or little capacity, but he really transformed the lives of many young people.
Oh, yeah.
And so people began to think, began to act, began to operate in predatide, you know what I'm saying? Began to live that kind of lifestyle. Why? Because there was a guy called Mika. And not necessarily my name, but I want to be remembered as the voice.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So my last question, actually this, as we agreed that we'll be doing this show.
Yes.
Like as days goes.
Yeah.
We'll be having more episodes.
Yeah.
So we'll be having this part to talk about social life. You know, most of the people, they know you basing on what you're doing, but they forgot like you have your own life that you're living.
Absolutely.
And you're facing some challenges like the way they're facing. You know?
Yeah.
Some people might think like maybe you don't go through what they're going through. Maybe they don't have money in the pocket.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know if sometimes you don't even have money in your pocket.
Yeah.
So go to the question. There are many people are struggling with the relationship. Young people, young lady and young boys that are struggling with the relationship.
Yeah.
Causing them being depressed, stress, anxieties, and all of that thing. So if you want to say a single word for them, what would you say?
First of all, I would say you're not alone. We all struggle with relationships. It doesn't matter whether, are you talking about romantic relationship or relationships?
Romantic.
All right. Yeah, we all struggle through that. Me personally, I've been dumped so many times. I don't even remember. There's that time that, somebody dumped you and then get back to you and dumped you and they get and dumped you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been dumped so many times. And so you're not alone. Sometimes when you're in that situation, you feel like I'm all alone, but you're not alone.
Yeah.
Not even being dumped, but being rejected.
Being rejected.
Yeah. Like literally, you like someone so much, you want to engage yourself with, you feel like we're going to have a future, we're going to have a life, we're going to have beautiful babies in the future. And the way you feel is not the way they feel. Yeah. Don't take it personal. First of all, you're not the only one struggling.
Yeah.
Second, never take it personal.
Oh, yeah.
If someone dumped you, if someone rejects you, don't take it personal. It's not about you, but sometimes it's about them.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you like them, they don't like you back. Maybe what you see in them, they don't see it in you. So what you got to do, keep moving forward, keep running, keep doing what you're called to do, because one day along the way, you're going to meet someone who will understand you the way you are, who will like you the same way you like her, and who will be willing to submit and to walk with you regardless of whatever situation you might be in. One day you will find love. No, one day love will find you. That's the better way I would say that. You know what I'm saying? So
awesome.
Remember this. If you're struggling with the relationship, first of all, you're not the only one. So don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. This world has a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're dumped or you're rejected, don't kill yourself. Yes, you go through pain because you must go through that. As a human being, you go through that and you got to embrace that. But at the same time, remember, you're not alone. Second, what did I say? He's not listening to me too.
You talk a lot.
No.
You speak a lot of things.
No, it's okay.
I'm digesting, by the way.
Yeah. First, I say, you're not alone. Second, don't take it personal.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
That's great.
Perhaps it's about them.
Yeah.
So don't take it personal. And then the last thing, keep doing what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Never slow down. You've been dumped today. Keep working tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take a break. Ain't no time to take a break. You don't have time to waste. Remember, predator, time. Time is life. You waste time, you waste your life. Yeah, keep working. Keep doing it. Wake up. Keep going. And keep running. I saw something today morning. One preacher was saying that, hey, enjoy your singleness. You got to enjoy your singleness. And how do you enjoy it? Keep running. Keep working towards your vision. Keep running towards God's. And don't stop. But as you keep running towards your vision, you'll find someone running towards the same thing as well. And then at that time, trying to look behind and trying to socialize with them. Hey, what's up? Hey, don't slow down. Oh, you're here. All right. If you see someone is back there, okay, just keep running. There's someone who's going to catch up with you very soon. Just keep running. One day, you get a time to, you look behind and then you see someone there running right next to you. That's the one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add up of there.
Wait. Be patient.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So is there anything maybe you want to share?
Man, this was such a great idea. I gotta, thank you for this initiative.
All right.
And we need to keep doing this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I think this just comprises everything.
Oh, yeah.
So we gotta keep on doing this, and hopefully it'll be helpful to someone. I know that people who want really to hear this version of me.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Not Africa, why did you do that? No, they just wanna hear this stuff. So you did pretty good job with questions, and I don't know what you're gonna do in the next session. But these were pretty good questions.
I will be better more than this.
Oh, all right. I love the spirit. Come on, you guys. Come on. I love the spirit. So yeah, I hope you guys, you're gonna enjoy this session. But all in all, I would say, Hangsang Hananime Ibchangeso. That is the Korean phrase I learned when I was in Korea, which means always be in the side of God.
That's great. Amen.
That should always be your side. and everything will work out for you.
Amen.
Appreciate, guys. Love you. One Africa.
Thank you.